Hello everybody, my name is Kanamanika, and welcome back to the unboxing, where today we are going to look at some underappreciated S.H.Figuarts. Um, yeah, uh, yeah, S.H.Figuarts releases a lot of stuff, um, so not all of it gets appreciated. So today we're going to look at some of those underappreciated series, specifically Undead, Unluck, by taking a quick little look at the two releases it's had. So we have Andy and we have Fuko Izumo. These are the two main protagonists of the series, Andy with the power Undead and Fuko with the power Unluck. Now, let's go with one of these to unbox. I feel like if we're going to start, we should go with Andy. So, Andy here is one of our protagonists. As I said before, he has the power of Undead. He can't die. Very simple idea. But it is used very well throughout the manga and the anime. Again, it is very underrated. The manga took a bit to get going. When it gets going, it gets really fucking going. I've been getting through it. I'm about chapter 50 right now, and it is quite good. I'm loving what I've been reading. But I mean, it could have gotten a little bit of an extra boost because it did get an anime by the people behind the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure adaptation. But unfortunately, that series was stuck being released on Hulu and Disney Plus, who just do not promote anime. So you possibly have not heard of Undead Unluck, though. It did get S.H.Figuarts figures. Not a ton. I don't think they're going to be doing any more, unfortunately, even though they're such a nice, eclectic cast of characters. But Andy and Fuko is the bare basics that you need for the series. They are the two protagonists. So, let's take a look at Andy. I do quite like him. He's a fun guy. So, these packages are some of the thinner style packages. You saw them with, like, the Spy Family figures we looked at in the past. This is very common for the Kamen Rider figures. They come in very similar boxes of this. You can see it there. So we've got this slimmer package with a window to look in on the figure. On the side it says Andy with a couple of bits of the paint splatter because he's all about the pink in the logo. S.H.Figuarts Andy, that is what that probably says. The copyrights, the Undead Unluck logo. Tamashii Nations Bandai, the distributors of the series, TMS, I believe the anime at least. Tamashii Nations Seal Quality, Bamco. He looks very nice. Blue background, which I do appreciate. Top has a promotional image of Andy. Copyright, I imagine, is there. Andy, S.H.Figuarts. The pink and blue splatter is awesome. It mainly recreates the logo of the series. I probably should have noted that. And it does that quite well. I feel like it could have been a little bit more creative. Again, we've seen Bandai go further. You can see it a little bit with the Chainsaw Man one poking out there, where they color them specifically for the Tankobon covers, but it's fine. At the bottom, S.H.Figuarts Andy. We've got a image of them running, as well as your web information. On this side, we have a continuation of the promotional image at the front. Andy, as well as another promotional image, and it says S.H.Figuarts. On this side, it has the S.H.Figuarts coat and the little bit more window. Some more nice paint splatter, Andy S.H.Figuarts. On the back, you have the legal information, simple style and heroic action. A couple of poses for Andy from the promotional images, him using his parts bullet, as well as images of his four faces, which is nice and appreciated, which we will get to here in a second. Let's unbox this. But yeah, I saw these, I was like, I'm kind of getting a little bit into the series. I heard about it from some, like, internet people. And I was like, hey, I saw these were on a decent discount on, like, Amazon. So I decided to pick them up. So let's see how they are. And I also decided to start reading it, and once I started reading it, I was like, yeah, this is fucking awesome. Ooh, there's an extra layer of stuff. Ooh, it's kind of coming out already. But yeah, here is the plastic, double layered seemingly, which is interesting. That's why it felt thicker and heavier than Fuko's. But you can see everything he comes with. So let's start with the back layer. The back layer only has two things. First off, he has an effect part. Holy shit. S.H.Figuarts don't really have effect parts anymore. It's very small, which is probably why they were able to include it. This is blood splattering out of his finger for when he shoots his finger out as a parts bullet. I kind of wish, from what I've seen, that there were more blood effect parts, maybe one that could attach to the bottom of a head and one that could be used on like the bottom of his torso, but this is more than we usually get, so I appreciate it. It's very simple, just some clear red plastic, but it works very well. Secondly here, if I can get it out, God, it's squeezed in there a little bit, unfortunately, but not too hard, is a swappable arm. This is like how he sheaths his sword, especially later on in the series. He can just stab himself and he'll heal. So that's why this is able to work out. So you can see his unbreakable katana is just stabbed right fucking in there. It tears the shirt a little bit, which is fun. It has a single joint. The arms are double jointed, but this only has a single joint. It's a bit tight, but it works fine. It is still very nicely painted, very nicely sculpted. And yeah. It's good for, I guess, certain looks. Yeah. Now let's get on to the main course of the figure. Yep. Anyways, let's take a look at his accessories. First off, let's look at the hands. They seem fairly simple. First off, we have the sword gripper hands. Nicely sculpted. They do look like hands, and they feel unique from the ones I usually look at. They're a bit muscly, a bit bony as well. Which seems like a contradiction, but you get what I'm going for. Very nicely done. A bit hampered by the hole, but like it's fine. It's the hole. It's for the sword. It works fine. Anyways, he has these sort of relaxed hands because he has fists on him automatically, which is an interesting choice. He has these kinds of palm open hands, which are nice and calm, nice for just kind of hanging out. And yeah, next up, we have the finger gun hands, which are always appreciated. Nice and expressive. Swoop and a dupe. Of course, these are always just nice and expressive and fun accessories to have, though these are very nice specifically for Andy because he uses the parts bullet. He's able to shoot the tip of his finger out as like a bullet with like high pressurized like force from the regeneration process. It's a whole thing. It's wicked sick. Anyways, you're able to fit the effect part on, so it looks like the finger is being cut off. But yeah, very nice, very cool, sick, wicked sick. Next up, let's look at his sword. It's a simple sword. I've seen a lot of katana from S.H.Figuarts. This one's a longer variety. I don't even know if it's called a katana. It's a sword. It's the unbreakable sword. It's got lore. But again, very clean paint work. Very clean sculpt work. Nice and shiny. I like the gold. I like the extra detailing of the hilt. Come on, show up. There you go. You can see the extra detailing of the hilt. It looks very nice. Next up, let's look at his extra heads. Most S.H.Figuarts comes with extra hands, but Andy comes with extra heads. Seems a bit weird, but it makes sense because he tears his head off a lot. So he comes with a basic stern face, though. He also comes with a couple other faces. I kind of think of this as like an angry/confused face. He feels like, like what's going on? I'm not super enthused by some of the faces. I feel like they're a little bit awkward, especially the more neutral ones, but they look nice. They do capture him very well. The gray hair is painted very nicely. I wish there was a little bit more detailing maybe, but it's fine. The card in his head looks stunning, nice and silver with a little bit of the scarring detail. And this is a very expressive, fun face, and it attaches with a ball joint, which is nice. I imagine you could probably fit this onto other accessories, or you can just have like another character holding it, because sometimes he just goes headless. And yeah, I think this should work. Anywho, next accessory. Let's look at some faces that feel more Andy to me. Here we have Big Grin, convincing Fuko to get into some shit with him. Very nice, very expressive. I do like that the eye is always a little bit lower on this side than this side because of the card, but it looks very nice, very expressive. The skin look between the teeth is a little creepy, but it's fine. But yeah, a little bit of mess up on the gray paint. That's probably a Vietnam factory thing. I'll live. I'll live. Again, I got these on sale. Alright. Anyways, next head. This one feels the most Andy to me. Let's get it out of there. A little tightly in there. That's probably causing some of the paint chip, but It's his yelling face, and yeah, this is perfectly Andy. This is so him. Um, it hurts. But yeah, I really like this head. This is probably my favorite head of the set. It works really well. I like the lining to detail the eyebrows. And yeah, if it'll focus. Yeah. However, that means we get to go into the figure himself. I'm pulling out the plastic. Oh, there's a little plastic for his tie. That's nice. Anyways, he's fairly tightly in there. But here we are. It feels very dense. You can see some of the shinier plastic choices thanks to the Vietnam factory. For some reason, they have shinier plastics. I don't know if I've ever gotten a figure from the Vietnam factory before. I mean, I get why these guys got shunted over there. They probably aren't the highest priority. Yeah, I think looking at the box wall, I think most of the figures I have are from the China factory. Yeah, maybe the Spy Family ones, but these feel like the first ones I've ever gotten from the Vietnam factory, which I've heard issues about, but this figure looks fine to me. No real notable paint flaws. The only real notable flaws that I've seen is that sometimes if you kick the leg up too high and you move the torso with it, the leg will fall off, but that's easy enough to fix. It's not a permanent thing. But let's take a look at him. He's got this stern face, which does fit Andy in certain scenes, in more serious moments in the series. This does work for Andy. You can see this may seem a bit different from what you're used to seeing in promotional images, especially from earlier on in the series. He's in his Union uniform. He's part of this group called the Union. It's a whole thing. Doesn't really matter. But this is his Union uniform. It's able to reform onto him, which is nice. So, yeah, it's a basic suited look. You can see a little bit of the uniqueness. They all have to wear this red tie. They all have to wear this golden UN logo for the Union. But yeah, it's very nicely done, though. The chest has some very geometric shapes, which shows like how buff he is, which I think is very well done. He's overall very bulky and very nice. I can see someone just taking this and using it as like taking off the head and using it as like a generic sculpted like suited body if they want to for like a bruiser or something. So if you're not into Undead Unluck, that might be a use for this figure. Just swap out the head with like a more generic head. Yeah, it's a very simple paint job, but it gets the job fucking done. The shoes are nice and glossy. Everything else has a nice matte finish, except the knees and like the hips feel like if they're made of a different material a bit too much. It's a little bit awkward, but I don't mind it too much. Back is very plain as well. Let's take a look at the articulation. So head. Upper head is on a ball joint, though it doesn't seem like it gets a ton of range. Oh, it gets range. Never mind. I was worried about the neck. Lower neck, which does move as well. I think I've heard the lower neck is on a hinge. Yeah, the lower neck isn't moving side to side much, so he doesn't get a ton of tilt, which is unfortunate. But he's able to look down a ton, look up a good bit. Yeah. Shoulders. He has butterflies. They don't have a ton of range. They get a little bit stopped by the suit, but you can get them moving a little bit. They also have, like, shifting. They're able to go out. About that far. He has a bicep swivel, which works like a bicep swivel. He has a very weird double joint where this bit of the shirt is in between it, so it moves a little bit awkwardly. So you have the joint there and the joint there. It moves a little bit unnaturally, but I get why they did it. It was probably for that arm. But it moves it has a lot of range, sometimes more range than their normal double joints, which is absurd. And hands on the usual S.H.Figuarts hand joint. Torso. Upper joint isn't moving a lot. It's got a little bit of swivel, mostly doing tilts. I think it's because of the suit. The suit gets in the way a little bit. Oh, there it goes. I've activated it. Never mind. It does move a good bit. Not able to move back much because of the suit, but it's able to move forward a good bit. Now let's look at the lower torso. Swivels. There's a good range of swivel. Able to move forward. Whoa! Oh boy. And back, again, not a ton because the suit restricts it a little bit, but forward, holy shit. Don't want to do that too much probably because I'll bend the tie and warp it. Anywho, legs. Able to move out that far. Not a ton. I mean, it's enough. Able to kick forward a ton, and you're able to... Oh yeah, this is fun. Okay. I had a lot of fun with this. For context, I just got off playing with the Deadpool and Wolverine ones. And those ones have their limits, and it's like, yeah, they're fine, but like they don't work the best. And this guy's just moving. And I love it. This is what I look for in an action figure. Anyways, thigh swivel. Basic thigh cut, but it works nice and well enough. Double jointed knee, able to kick nice and far. The joint looks a little bit awkward, but I've never minded that too much. I can deal with joints. I'm buying an articulated action figure. I'm used to it. Feet, able to kick forward, kick backward. Pivots honestly fairly nicely for the. It's kind of a rocker look. A bit limited by the cufflink of the pants, but it's able to swivel nicely. And there's a toe bend. So yeah, overall, this is a very impressive figure for what it is. He looks a bit basic, but he is able to get those little bits of Andy that are there. Overall, especially if you're able to find it on like a sale a little bit, I'm not sure if 75 is quite worth it, but if you're able to find this for about like 60 or 50 bucks, then yeah, go in on this. Even if you're not super into Undead Unluck, I'm sure you could find a use for it as like a generic bruiser or like something, or like a gang guy, like a member of the mafia or whatever. Because I think you'd fit in perfectly fine in a collection like that. Though, since I now have a connection to Andy, I have a more reason to own this, so I'm really happy about it. But yeah, that's been our look at Andy. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the series down below. Let me know what you would do with this figure if you had it. And yeah, I think that's enough for this video. I've got to probably record the other one now, unless we get hit with like a time loop. Sure hope that doesn't happen. Bye bye.